Hi friends, Naji here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, in this video, we will be discussing on Amazon Bedrock Knowledge Base. So agenda will be as I mentioned, like we will be discussing on knowledge base and its working and its implementation using Python. It's good to have Python knowledge, AWS account, and the knowledge of creating IAM user and Bedrock permission, and good to have Visual Studio Code. So Amazon Bedrock knowledge base. So we know that the foundation models are trained with lot of publicly available data set, and if you want to use them with respect to our private documents, then there are two options are there. One is we can fine tune the model with respect to our private document or private database, or we can do a RAG. So fine tuning is actually what you call a time consuming process, and it is actually costly, and there are chances are there will be like a lot of hallucinations will be there, so we need to handle that, and quality also a problem. And in other words, RAG is very simple. We can scale it with any number of document. Okay, so we can dynamically add document, and we can create the dynamically we can update our document DB or the vector DB. Okay, so KB or knowledge base for Amazon Bedrock allows to integrate proprietary informations into your generative AI applications. Using RAG technique, KB searches data to find most useful information. Okay, so this is the basic definition that AWS provides. Okay, then it's working. This is a same architecture with respect to any RAG. Okay, so we will have a data source like S3 bucket. Then we will be splitting this document into chunks, and using a embedding model we will be generating the embedding, and we will be saving this into a vector database. Okay, so this is called the pre-processing phase. So when a user asks a query, so using the same embedding model, we will be generating the query. We will be generating the embeddings of this particular user query, and with this query, with this embedding, we will be running a similarity search with respect to this vector DB, okay, like cosine similarity. So this result, this query may be giving us a bunch of chunks, okay, that we can mention in our as a parameters. Okay, maybe it may be a 5 chunks, or it may be a 6 chunks or 10 chunks, okay, that we can mention there. And once that is chunks received, we can use our model, LLM model, to generate answer from these chunks. Okay, so once that is created, we can respond to user. Okay, so this is the basic architecture, and this is for basically this architecture work for any RAG. Okay, so enough talking, we can do some practicals. Okay, for that, first let me close this. Let me go to AWS. Here we can search for Bedrock. Okay, so here we can see an option called knowledge base. First we can create a knowledge base. Okay, then we can using Python we can query against this knowledge base. Okay, and here we can see an option create knowledge base. So let me click on this create knowledge base. Let me keep this default, and this also default, and here I can select AWS S3 or web crawler or Confluencer or Salesforce or SharePoint, anything we can select, but for this demo we will be selecting Amazon S3. Okay, now let me click on next, and here we can select our S3 bucket. So I have already uploaded a single document to this, I believe this document. So let me select this, choose the document. Maybe I can view this. Let me check the S3 bucket. Okay, so it has a document, okay, about Ian Fleming. So I will show you that. Okay, So this is the document. So this is the Wikipedia document of Ian Fleming. He is the, I believe he is the notable work. He is the writer of James Bond series. Okay. Let me go back. So here we have a option. Just look into here, we have a chunking and the parsing configuration. By default, I have set as a default, but if you want to, we can give the custom chunking here. Here we can select different chunking methods like fixed chunking, hierarchical chunking, semantics chunking, or no chunking also. So in the default chunking, the chunks is about 300 tokens in size by default. Okay. So let me go to the default one. Now let me make everything as default. Here I am going to use the embedding, the Titan text embedding. Okay. Then dimension is 1024, and here we can access, we can mention the vector database. Okay. So I have created, I am using the default one. So here we are using Amazon OpenSearch serverless vector store, or we can select any other data source like Amazon OpenSearch, Amazon Aurora, or MongoDB Atlas, or PineCode, or Redis. We can use anything. So for the time being, let me use the default one. So I have selected the default one. Let me select next. Okay. So this is the basic details. And one more thing is, this is actually a costly process. Okay. I have lost nearly $75 while doing this. Not only this, like actually I have done something for me, and I forgot to delete the knowledge base, and I got like nearly $75. So please be careful if you are trying with me. Okay, just try to upload a single document. That's why I have uploaded only a one-page document. Then ensure that you have deleted all the resources. Okay, delete all the knowledge base and related data, otherwise it may get charged. Okay. So we can create the knowledge base. So let me create that. So it will take some time. So let me close this. So knowledge base is in progress. Okay. So while doing this, maybe we can start writing our code with respect to knowledge base. I can create a skeleton. Okay. So let me go there. So this is my Visual Studio code. You guys can see Boto 3, only Boto 3 is required. Okay, you guys can do a pip install Boto 3. Then let me do some import. Okay, I can import the OS. I can import Boto 3. Now I can create a client. So here the client will be Boto 3 dot. I can create a client. Here we need to mention Bedrock agent runtime. This is that we are going to call agent runtime. Okay. Here I can pass access key. Let me check this. AWS. Okay, so autocomplete is not there. So let me check the other. Let me ensure these keys are correct. So let me copy this from here. Okay, let me paste it here. Here I can give AWS access key, and here I can give AWS secret key. Okay, so I have the AWS keys with me. So let me copy this, copy, and let me paste it here. And this is my secret key. Let me copy this and paste it here. Okay. So we have our client is ready. Now what we need few things. One is knowledge base that we are going to query. So let me mention it here. Then we need to have a model MRN number, model ARN number. Okay, we need this also. So we can go back to our AWS console. We can see this is done or not. Okay, knowledge base quick start is successfully created. Sync one or more data source to index your content for searching. Okay, so let me go back. Let me select this and maybe let me do a sync. Status is giving a error. Is not able to call specific Bedrock embedding model. Okay, I'm getting an error. I don't think that is a problem. Let me see that. Okay, so here we can see our knowledge base. So this is my knowledge base. Let me click on this knowledge base. Here, so there is a select model. Okay, let me select a model. So I'm going to select this particular model. Okay, now we will able to query here. Okay, but this is a test knowledge base. So by selecting the model, we will able to do a query, but somehow this is not coming. It may take some time. So in between, we can see few things. Here we can see this is our knowledge ID. So let me copy this knowledge ID and we can paste it here. Okay, now let me go back. Still it is not coming. Maybe I can do a sync again. Okay, so its status is in progress. That may be the reason. So let me select. Okay, configure retrieval response, still not working. Okay, let me go back and do a sync again. I can click on the test knowledge base. Here I can select the model. Okay, now it is coming. Okay, here I can type who is Fleming. Let me run this. Invalid input or configuration provided. Check the input knowledge base configuration and try again. Okay, invalid input or configuration is provided. So let me see, check it again. Some issue with the configuration. Let me sync again. Okay, knowledge base role, error, role service. Some issue with this knowledge base that we have created. So let me delete this one and we can create it again. Okay, so each time when we create it will charge definitely, but let me try it again. So create a knowledge base and the same procedure. Okay, I'm using S3 bucket and here I can browse my S3 bucket and this is my S3 bucket. Let me select this one, choose. Okay, so I am selecting only this particular file. Now next, this time I am going to use a different embedding. So this is the embedding that I am going to use. Somehow this embedding is not working. You can try this one. Okay, and we have a vector dimension 1536. Then we are selecting the vector databases default. Okay, and here we are not changing anything. Now let me create this. Okay, so knowledge base creation is in progress. So as we said, it will be divided into chunks and the chunks will be converted to embedding and which finally will update it to the vector store. Okay, so that is a process. It is happening under the hood. Okay, so we can go back to our code. to save some time. So we need to have a knowledge base. So we will get a, definitely we will get a new knowledge base, and we need to get a model ARN. Now we can define a function. Okay, so here we can have a function called retrieve generated. Okay, this will expect a input and a knowledge base ID, and it will expect a model ARN. Okay, the code is very simple. I can create a response. We can use the client, and there is a special method is there, that is retrieve and generate, and here we can give the input. And here we can, within the input I can pass my input. Okay, now have a comma, and then we can give some configurations here, that is retrieve and generate configuration. We can pass it here. Okay, and here we can type, we can mention the type. This type will be knowledge base, DGE. Okay, once that is done, we can mention few other configurations. Okay, so we will be keeping only the minimum configurations here, that is knowledge base configuration. I'm checking with my spellings. Okay, here we can pass our knowledge base ID. So this will be my KB ID, and I can pass the model ARN. Model ARN can be passed, that will be my model ARN. Okay, so once this is done, okay, once this is done, we can return the response. Okay, so we can just go through the code again. Okay, here we have a Boto3, and this is our client. So we are passing our access key ID and secret key ID. So we need to get this KB and model ARN, and we are calling a retrieve and generate method, and in which like we will be passing an input and we are passing the configuration. Fine. So once we receive the configuration, what we can do, we can call this method. Okay, let me maximize it. Here we can call it as response. Okay, retrieve generated. Here I can pass who is Fleming. I can pass KB ID, and model MRN is model ARN is model ARN. Then I can print the output. I can say that generated text, which will be response. From response we need to take the output. From output we need to have a text. Print the generated text. Okay, so this is the code. Okay, now we need to fill few things, KB and model ARN. So for that we can go back to our knowledge base. Okay, so here it says it's done. Now I can select a model here. So model is selected. So I am waiting this to be enabled. For that we can try it again. Let me see, this time the syncing is working. Okay, so it is syncing the data source. Good. So this time it is working. See, read this. Could take several minutes to hours to sync depending on the size of your data. Okay, so each sync is costly. So if you add a new data or new document to the S3 bucket, you can just click on the sync, which will sync all the data. Okay, so here I can type who is Fleming. Okay, so here we are getting the details. Ian Fleming was English writer, best known as creating the fictional spy characters James Bond. So we have the details. Okay, so this is actually from our document. Okay, let me do some. I don't know this information is there or not, but just asking this. Okay, so it's details. Show details. Let me clear the show details. Here we have the details are here. Okay, now what we need to know the knowledge base. So let me close this. Let me hide the details. Okay, now what we need is we need to have the knowledge base ID. Okay, for that we can check the knowledge base ID and we can get the model ARN. We can check from where we will get this. Let me copy this configuration. Here we have the configuration. Let me copy this and paste it in our code. Okay, so here I can go and paste it here. Okay, so these are the configuration that we can add, but forget it. So this is the knowledge base and this is our knowledge base ID. Let me copy this and add it here, and this is our model ARN. So let me copy this ARN. And I'm pasting it here. Okay, so we have our ARN. So now let me delete this. Okay, so let's go through the code again. Okay, so here we have our client, Boto3 client, and here we have our model ID, model ARN. Then we are calling the Boto3, I mean the Boto3 client. We are passing the input and its knowledge base and model ARN. Then we will have our response. From response we will get the text. So we can try to run this. Okay, I can call it as Python AWS KB. So let me run this. Okay, I'm getting an error. You must specify the region. Okay, we can specify the region. So let me try the region. I think it's region. So I'm checking my previous code. Here region name. So let me copy this and paste it here. Region name. This is my region name. Now let me run it again. Okay. See, so here we are getting the details. Ian Fleming was an English writer best known for creating the fictional spy character James Bond and writing the series of things. Okay, so it has all the details. Okay, so what it does is it is actually calling our knowledge base and getting the information from the knowledge base. Okay, so this is how the AWS knowledge base RAG is actually working. Okay, so let me go back to my slide. Okay, I think we have covered everything that is planned for this tutorial. So yeah, so thank you very much, and please do subscribe and like. Have a nice day. Bye bye. And one important thing, if you followed with me, please ensure that you delete the knowledge base, otherwise you will get charged. Okay, bye bye.